Good evening, everybody. I'm glad to see such a great turnout here. I'm from the first class, 1962. We showed up at Bishop Kearney. You guys probably thought that you're probably going to wheel somebody up here in the chair. And prop them up at crutches. Is this better?
Yes.
Okay. But we're not there yet. It's not so bad. It's not really that bad. Now, there are three battle boys here tonight. I guess you heard Mark talk about this before, so if you have any trouble figuring out which one is which, I'm going to tell you that Mark is the tall, good-looking one. Right? And for Tom O'Neill, I have to mention also that we beat you 4 straight years, Tom. 4 straight years the football team beat you, okay? I had to bring it up. So when Nancy Ryan asked me to say something tonight, I said, what do you want me to do? Because I had actually said something to her about our class saying something, and I didn't think it was right if they didn't. She says, well, just entertain them for a while. Well, no pressure there. No pressure there. Well, he was trying to make foul shots against Eddie's team in the 4th quarter over at Cardinal Mooney against the hostile crowd, right, Eddie? You remember those games, right? Yes, you do. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is, this sort of reminded me of a story. I'm going to tell you one story, and we'll get on to some of the Kearney stuff. But it seems that down in New York City, down in the village, there was a bar, and there was a bartender by the name of Joe who was there every Saturday, and every Saturday afternoon, a guy by the name of Louis Schwartz came. And he did this for 20 years, and they talked for 2 or 3 hours, and he left and came back again the next week. And they never talked about anything important, and this was just a regular weekly thing. One day, Louis walks in the door and he says to Joe, the bartender, wow, you'll never guess I just ran into Governor Cuomo. He says, him and I have been friends forever. I haven't seen him in a long time, but I'm going to go up and see him. We're going to have dinner and the whole deal. And Joe looks at Louis and he goes, what? Are you kidding me? You never mentioned you knew Cuomo. How's this possible? Never said a word. He says, maybe I didn't, but I'm telling you, we're friends. And Joe says, I'll bet you don't. We're going to have a bet on this, and I'm going with you. So he says, okay, fine. So they bet $1,000. They go up to Albany. They have an audience with Cuomo. They walk in, and Cuomo goes, Louis, how are you? Come on in. Who's your buddy? Have a seat. And they're just, and Joe is mortified that Louis knows Cuomo. So they're walking out of the Capitol, and Louis goes, well, listen, as long as you're on the subject, I got to tell you, let's just get it out. He says, President Obama and I are very good friends. And he looks at him like there's no way you would not have mentioned that you know Obama. No. He says, look, you want to double the bet? We'll go to Washington. I'll prove it. Well, they do. They go in the White House, and Obama greets them, and he kisses them, and he hugs them, and they stay overnight in the White House. They're in the Lincoln bedroom, the whole deal. Well, Joe is now out $2 grand. So they're leaving the White House. They go out there, and he says, you got anything else to tell me? I mean, seriously, because this is so far, this is pretty amazing. He goes, well, the Prime Minister in England, you know him? This is David Cameron. He says, don't tell me. Don't tell me that. Don't tell me you know the Prime Minister. But there's no way. He goes, I'll double the bet again and I'll pay for the plane ticket. So they go over there, 10 Downing Street. It's the same exact thing. They're the best of friends. They've known each other for 25 years. Out the door, Louis says, look, I promise this is it, but I got to bring this up. As long as we're over here in England, he goes, the Pope, me and the Pope. He goes, you, Louis Schwartz, as Jewish gets, and the Pope? I don't think so. He says, swear to God, we're going to go over there. So they do. He's now out $4,000. They go over to Rome. They're walking in the Vatican, and the Pope is going to come out and give his noon papal blessing. And Louis says to Joe, he says, you stay right here. I'm going to go in here. I'll get the Pope. When he comes out on the balcony at 12 o'clock, He says, I'll be standing right next to him. And Joe is really worried now. He's just mortified by this whole thing. But sure enough, Louis goes in, he comes and at noontime, out comes the Pope, and there is Louis standing right next to him. He gives his blessing, and Louis is looking down into the Vatican, into the Basilica there, and he sees Joe, and he goes right down. It's like he passed out cold. So he goes flying down the stairs, and he goes out, and he finds him in the Basilica, and he revives him, he throws some water on him, and he goes, Joe, are you okay? What happened? What happened to you? Are you all right? And he kind of wakes up a little bit, and he goes, Louis, I can understand Cuomo and Obama, and maybe even Kim. But when the little Italian guy next to me nudged me and said, who's that guy up on the balcony standing next to Louis Schwartz?